Hello, Marilena.
Hi, everyone. We are live, and my name is Marilena. And today we have the second ThinkYoung Alumni discussion. And this discussion is a part of a series that we have launched in order to help young people across the globe and Europe, Asia, and Africa that we're working on to be aware of how different career paths showcase and passions work. Additionally, today we will showcase a story and an achievement of a person close to ThinkYoung. And specifically, we have Alex. Welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you here with me today. And before starting, I just wanted to say that you currently work as an asylum case worker, but a few years ago, like me, you were part of ThinkYoung and a project manager. So why don't you tell us a couple of things about yourself and your early career and what you did after you graduated your university?
Thank you very much, Marilena. Thank you. Hello, ThinkYoung, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk today for this very interesting project you have, guys. So I'm Alex, as you said. I'm French. I studied in France, economics and law. And after that, I started my career, let's say, as a financial attaché in an embassy in Brazil for 2 years. Then I came back to Europe, and I wanted to continue my path in this international environment. And I said, well, one of the most international cities in Europe, because I wanted to remain in Europe, was Brussels. I also had the European dream to work for a European institution, let's say. Before that, before going to Brussels, I followed a second master, and then I landed in Brussels in this NGO that I didn't really know at the time called ThinkYoung. And from this moment, my career path and my life also completely changed, because the story between me and ThinkYoung started, let's say, in April 2011. It didn't have the size and the importance it has today. I think we'll come back on it later. And it ended somehow in December 2018. Meanwhile, 7 years passed. I did other jobs in other organizations. But yeah, as you said, I was mainly project manager, coordinating projects in several locations in Europe. And after 2018, so after those 7 years, let's say that the crisis of the 30s years old came up, and I wanted to change many things in my life. I went to Greece, and I landed in this, let's say, migration and asylum field that I really love. And today, as you say, I'm a case worker. So in a nutshell, I interview migrants to decide if they need international protection or not. And I'm not in Greece anymore, but I'm based in Nicosia, in the beautiful capital of Cyprus. And voila, I think.
Nice, no, very very interesting, and to see how you changed from one direction to another. So before moving to the now, I just wanted to ask you about ThinkYoung, because as you said, you did a lot of projects. So I wanted to see which one was your favorite project and why.
Yes. So there was many projects in 7 years. I would say 5 years in total. And yes, and I think let's say that the most interesting one was not one single project, but it was, let's say, a program of a few years, actually. The entrepreneurship school, an event of 5 days, gathering more or less 80 people for to and make them meeting entrepreneurs, experienced entrepreneurs, to learn directly from them, and also they had to prepare a business plan also. The thing is that we were focusing in countries where the unemployment rate was very high, so southern countries. And in total, I made the math, and I think I coordinated or worked or were involved in more or less 20 different events in 5-6 different countries: France, Spain, Portugal, Greece, obviously. Switzerland, Georgia also. That was amazing. And nothing. I was not supposed to evolve as a project manager in my mind when I arrived at ThinkYoung in Brussels. But I took this role, and I suddenly felt that I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And this series of events we did for 5 years. In these 20 events were very challenging, were very exciting. And the more we were going ahead, the more we were doing better project with better quality, better deliveries. And apart from the fact that it was a very nice professional experience, it was also a very nice human and life experience.
Nice, nice. Thank you. I mean, I had the chance to work with you also for
Yeah.
some of the entrepreneurship schools, and I can say that it was a great experience. And I wish we could go back to those times where we put people together to give them some life-changing, skills. So yeah,
Indeed.
I agree with you. Okay.
Same, Marilena, same.
Yeah. And like overall, what did you learn and what did you take from your time at ThinkYoung, other than the work experience, let's say, if you say so?
Listen, I was thinking about that, and actually, let's say that when I arrived, okay, let's say that we started from scratch, from almost zero, from nothing, in the sense that when I arrived, we were 3 interns based working from a basement. The basement was quite cheap, let's say. The NGO didn't have so much means, and so on. Then, if I see when I left the NGO, ThinkYoung reached a level that was impressive in terms of capacities, in terms of project, in terms of budgets. Yes, a permanent office in Brussels, but also in other cities all over the world, in Africa and in Asia also. That's very impressive. A series of projects, permanent employees. That was a big challenge for the NGO at the beginning. And let's say a name in Brussels also. This is very important. So to come back to your question, it was amazing to see this evolution from, let's say, kind of zero, or at the beginning when ThinkYoung was a child, and it grew, and the more you grow, the more it grew. The more I was growing with the organization, I was getting more responsibility, more stress, more pleasure, more challenges, more emotions also. And I was, professionally speaking, I was growing a lot. I discussed about it with some of the colleagues of our generation that I was working at the end, that after this experience at ThinkYoung, taking into account the rhythm of work, the responsibilities we had, the freedom we had to create, to invent, to innovate, any kind of experience that will follow this one looks like okay, it's not that difficult to get into it. You feel more comfortable, more somehow you go with it in a more easy way somehow. And then yes, I mean, ThinkYoung, I have to underline that ThinkYoung is also a mix between NGO on one side and entrepreneurial mindset. So we were learning, because the founders of ThinkYoung are entrepreneurs, and we were learning a lot about their way of seeing things, their way of constructing things, and our way of constructing projects. So I developed personally, on a professional basis, on the professional side, a completely can-do attitude, a completely solution-oriented perspective. Problems were not problems; they were challenges. Also, I developed myself like a way of how to say, of animating people, motivating people. This was also a very nice skill I acquired there, and finding solution everywhere. So yeah, these skills that I was acquiring in a professional way became skills that I acquired in a personal way also. Any kind of things I undertake For me, it's not something impossible. On the contrary, if you focus on the solution and if you focus on the fact that you will reach your target, at a certain moment you will reach your target.
Mhm. Great. No, be assured that we're still using that mindset. So we are taking all the challenges that we can and we try to overcome them and create great opportunities for young people. So yeah.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Yeah. So connecting to what we just discussed, I mean, you also discussed about your life and what you did so far and how you achieved the place where you are at the moment. But do you feel that ThinkYoung has influenced in one way or another, where you are today, like what you became and where you are today in your life?
Um, let's put it like this, okay? When I finished the experience of Think Young, I decided I I decided to leave Think Young by myself because I wanted to try something else. Because after 7 years, 5 years, you want to try something else. I really regret the fact that I was leaving an amazing job, an amazing work environment, an amazing environment where I was learning a lot and continuously. That was amazing, but I needed to see something. And I started from scratch abroad in a country where I was not talking the language or whatever. Uh, this mindset of saying to myself, you will get to somewhere. You just have to push, 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 open doors, knock doors, be open to any opportunities, and you will find a solution. You will find a path. That philosophy helped me to get where I am right now.
Okay, I see. Nice. And in terms of, I want to change now the conversation and go back to COVID a bit now, because we are doing this also because of this. No, it was a challenge, but also we are given the opportunity to explore these and have these amazing series of webinars with every single one of you. So I just wanted to ask you how COVID-19 has affected your career, and how do you think it will affect also other generations working in your sector?
Um, well, as everybody, we're now working, everybody, most of the people we're working remote. By the way, this is my bed. So we are in live from my bedroom. Welcome to my bedroom. Um, yeah, the interaction are not the same somehow. In my work, there is one element that is very essential is the contact with the people. It is essential. By having this remote interaction, it was a bit strange at the beginning, but you find a way to adapt to how to say to impose a nice atmosphere during your interaction via camera. Problem of connection, obviously, but yes, we have to go beyond these issues and find solution. The other thing, to come back to the second part of your question, I think this will also be the future of our way of working. We will work more and more remotely. Just in parentheses, I was working remotely with ThinkYoung 3 years before the COVID crisis came, so it didn't really change many things. The only thing that really changed somehow are the meeting, the interaction. You know better your colleagues when you see them, when you make a small joke, a small chat, and so on, and then you see the personality. While if you have a formal meeting like this, it takes more time. But I don't say it's impossible. But yeah, I feel we COVID accelerated a path we were going to, and yes, it will be more and more remote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree also with you. Let's see. Okay, then, and now, like a spontaneous question, it's like, what's the one thing that you wish you knew when you were younger?
Um, um, okay. I have to say that the willingness to understand how this world is running and so on was one of the main motor of my path, in the sense that okay, I don't know how the economy is working, how the legislation is working. So I will study these elements in order to understand how this world is working somehow. How a company is working, for example. That is one of the main actor of our economy. Um, Now I know a bit more, obviously, with
Mhm.
experience and so on, but I feel that this kind of knowledge could have been acquired by simple things, such as being involved, for example, way earlier in an NGO, or having earlier professional experiences in a company, for example, to know how our structures are working, what are the priority of these structures, and that are actors of our economy. And this would, let's say, after my studies, maybe, or after, yeah, after my studies, this would, let's say, in one side, better choose the path I wanted to follow, like knowing in advance, okay, this is the world where you're going. Where do you really precisely want to go? I didn't have so much clue at that time. And yeah, and second, if I know that, I know how to progress in the path I would have chosen. That, in other words, I would have chosen maybe another path, and with a better knowledge of what would be to be expected afterwards.
Mhm. Okay, I see. And now a very interesting question that I like to ask people is, if you were the president of the European Commission for one day, what would you do and why?
I don't want to be the president of the European Commission. I don't know. Spontaneously, I think I would try in one day. It's very difficult, but try to do something to accelerate the fact that we need to go back to our former lives. We need to have perspectives. I feel the COVID somehow put everybody in standby, all the project in standby, and I think for you young people, it's very, very tough, very hard, because future is what they are living for somehow. And now COVID imposed, like, okay, now we cannot do anything. You cannot go out, you cannot undertake anything, you cannot travel. Many things of your daily life are suspended, so you are staying in standby. So yeah, if there is a way to accelerate the possibility to come back to our former life, that would be amazing.
Mhm. Okay, I see. And then, because I know your special relationship with the youth and young people in general, I wanted to see what do you think should be the priorities for the European Union for youth, like at the moment?
Um, well, this is a deep question, somehow. Uh, and also, I'm not one of those who believe that we should expect something from uh, the let's say the public sector in general. Not because I don't trust it, but because, yes, we have to construct ourselves our way, and the public sectors provide as much help as possible. We shouldn't deny that. On the contrary, take it as an opportunity, but don't focus too much on that, and try to find your own way. um, you I mean, now we're in a very strange situation, and it's related to what I was saying before, that youth unemployment might be even more be affected by what is going on. If there are ways to provide an employment, or a bit like ThinkYoung was doing, promoting and helping young entrepreneurs to create their own job, and maybe later on to employ people, that wouldn't be a bad thing, I think.
Okay, nice. Then I see a couple of questions from the audience. So if you don't
Wow.
mind, we can ask, we can go and check some questions.
I
Yeah,
don't mind.
great. Okay, let's see the first one. Silvia Romeo. Ciao, Alex. What did you like the most about Think Young projects?
There's a million things I loved. One thing I cannot deny, and I think you can feel it from this interaction with you, Marilena, is the team spirit we had, the devotion of all the members of the team. It is something that you don't acquire directly, but you acquire very quickly when you arrive at ThinkYoung. And as soon as the team is consolidated and we know how to go ahead in team, the projects are amazing also. I really like to interact with people. I really like to have, let's say, an added value on people's life. What we were doing at ThinkYoung mainly with this project with entrepreneurship, for example, is that for 5 days, we were having an impact in the perception of entrepreneurship of those young people. And the feedback we got that were the most rewarding. Some to the extreme levels, it changes the life of people. I didn't expect that from our 5 days event, but it opened the eyes of many people. It opened the eyes and the eyes on a certain network. It opened doors also to successful entrepreneurs. It made people question themselves about what they really want to do in life. So somehow we helped and contributed in, let's say, giving them more tools to better choose their path for their future.
Good.
And yes, and there's this massive international perspective. I mean, yeah, you interact with people from all over the world. The most international project were in Spain, when you had, like, I don't know, 20 different nationalities gathered, and it was extremely international. That was amazing. That was really amazing.
Great. Okay, I see another one here from Alexandros. Hi, Alex. What direction would you like to see ThinkYoung going in the next 5 years? Nice one.
Nice one, Alexandros. Huh? I think the funny thing of ThinkYoung, it's that it's always here, and okay, when I started, it was growing. Then you had a suspension moment, and growing again, and then a bit questioning and so on. Anyhow, what I mean is that if you take a big step back, you see it growing and growing and growing and growing. I'm sorry to say that, Marilena, but I don't follow, let's say, into details everything you're doing. But the thing is that even though I left ThinkYoung, 3 years ago, I still see you guys, and you're here. And I'm convinced ThinkYoung will never disappear, because behind ThinkYoung there are people who are passionate and convinced of the purpose of ThinkYoung. And as soon as you have the conviction, the idea, things will not disappear. Now, in the next 5 years, yes, I wouldn't mind to see let's say, ThinkYoung as a even more stronger reference of a think tank of young people, and not only in Brussels, but and not only in a European way, but a bit everywhere. And I think it goes this direction, actually.
Yeah, you are right, because I mean, maybe you haven't been following a lot, but then I guess you saw the different projects that we're trying in Africa, and I mean, Asia with Hong Kong, etc. It's been a tradition
It's
so far.
amazing.
So yeah. Stay tuned, because we will have even more. Okay, I mean, I just wanted to see if you have also any last remarks to make out of this call from your side.
No, guys, continue as you're doing. You're doing great. I'm always happy to have news from you. Enjoy this freedom you have to, how to say, improvise in your work. Be creative. To propose ideas, but propose a good way. If you have an idea, it's good, but the realization is even more important. Learn as much as possible from this permanently evolving organization that is ThinkYoung. Adapt to new situations. I don't know how it is now, guys, with COVID. Marilena, you are in the same country as me right now, in Cyprus, and I talked to other members of the people a bit before this webinar. They are based in Italy, based in England, based a bit everywhere. And I don't know if you met physically, and this is I cannot imagine working at ThinkYoung without meeting people physically, even though we were already doing that, by the way, with Hong Kong. But okay, it was another thing. But yeah, try to enjoy this nice atmosphere that is in the office. Get the best of everybody. Try to explore the best skills of everybody to make the best of the project and so on. Collaborate as much as possible, and ThinkYoung, generally speaking, is booming as usual. And nothing. I wish this to continue, and let's see if one day our path will cross again.
Yeah, no, it was very nice having you. It was like all the questions I had were those ones, and thank you for taking the time to share it with me and with everyone that is following us at the moment. And yeah, I want to thank also the people for their questions. And well, thank you, and hope to have a coffee with you in the next days. And
In 20 minutes, let's go.
yeah, let's go. And
There's no
yeah.
lockdown here anymore.
I also would like to thank everyone for following our conversation, and it was a very interesting one and also a funny one because ThinkYoung is a great place to work in a working environment, but also a friendly environment. So thank you, Alex, for also showing this in our call now. And yeah, stay tuned for our next alumni talk that will take place in the next couple of days. And follow the ThinkYoung community to see how we are getting bigger and how we are showcasing our, experiences with everyone else. And have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much. Enjoy, guys.